So auditory monitoring task. So this is the ear by ear call that I discussed in the previous video. And target presented among distractors or noise in both ears. So when target differ in feature dimension which needs to be attended, so target 1 is word and target 2 is loudness of the word. Increasing difference in intensities between two targets circumvents two target deficit in auditory processing. No auditory processing deficit. So this was the slide provided here, and now we need to discuss it. So I'll break down each of the points. So key points. Participants had to recall numbers presented ear by ear amidst noise or distractors. Two targets were there. Target 1, word identification, and target 2, the loudness of the word, right, for the amplitude. Finding was that increasing the difference in intensities between targets reduces auditory processing deficits. What does this mean? Increasing the difference in intensities between targets reduces auditory processing deficits. So auditory attention is limited. If two sounds are too similar, processing them separately is difficult, right? If they're similar, it would be difficult to distinguish them. All this thing, right? If the intensity difference is large, it is easier to attend to both targets. So this is what we found out, that increasing difference in intensities reduces the auditory processing deficits. That means that the brain's ability to process the auditory stimuli, the brain's, the cognitive load to distinguish these two targets reduces when we increase the intensity of the two targets. Sorry, the difference in intensities between the two targets. So the difference, as we increase, it will be easier for the brain to distinguish these two targets, and so the brain would require less effort, less cognitive effort in order to distinguish them. So that is what means by increasing difference in intensities between targets reduces auditory processing deficits. Now, terminology used: selective auditory attention, the ability to focus on one sound while ignoring others; auditory processing deficit, difficulty in distinguishing and processing sounds. So this is auditory processing deficit, right? So this is the difficulty in distinguishing sounds. So as you increase the intensity difference between the two targets, it would reduce the difficulty or the auditory processing deficit. That's it. So now we move on to our next slide, which is involuntary orienting to sound improves visual perception. So this was a study done by McDonald, John J., Wolfgang A., Tedder, Sa, Elijah Irvi, and Stephen A. Hilliard. So what is IB here and DB? IB stands for independent variable, DB stands for dependent variable. So these are the dependent variables: reaction time and accuracy. IB, independent variables: variety of mass and location of target. So task: to detect the presence of the target. Auditory cue, uninformative. Okay, so this is some kind of an experiment, and we'll go through the text below in order to understand it. Key points: task: detect the presence of a target in visual search with an uninformative auditory cue. Independent variables: mask, validity, and target location. So mask, validity, whether the mask was at the correct location or not. And dependent variables: reaction time and accuracy. Finding even when auditory cues were uninformative, they still influenced visual attention. So contextual analysis shows that involuntary attention shifts due to auditory stimuli. Involuntary attention shifts due to auditory stimuli can affect visual perception even when they provide no useful information. Supports the cross-modal integration hypothesis, where sensory modalities are interconnected rather than independent. Terminology: fixation point, FP, a designated area where participants must focus before the stimulus appears. Masking, a technique where a visual stimulus is presented briefly and then obscured by another image, preventing prolonged processing. Masking is a technique where a visual stimulus is presented briefly and then obscured by another image, preventing prolonged processing. And fixation point is an area where participants focus before the stimulus appears. That's it. So results from the experiment were these. Detection and accuracy of trials improved in valid trials. Cross-modal attention links plays a role in enhancing the perceptual salience of multi-sensory stimuli. Bias of response towards auditory cue location. Enhanced sensitivity towards auditory cue location. Okay, so valid basically is the white one and invalid is the grey one. So this is basically just a brief overview you can see in the slide. Now we'll be discussing it in depth. So key points. Graph A is basically reaction time versus the target location. So response time versus target location. So graph A, RT is shorter or better in validly cued trials compared to invalid trials. So in valid trials, RT is shorter. As you can see, the white strip, the white bar is shorter than the gray bar. So the valid trial response time is shorter than invalid trial. So response time lower means that we are able to detect it faster. So the valid trial is definitely is a better one. So detection and accuracy improved in valid trials. Now graph B is hit rate versus target location. So detection accuracy improves for validly cued locations. So obviously, if the reaction time is less, so the hit rate or the accuracy would be higher. Therefore, the white bar in both left and right is higher than the invalid ones. So findings: detection and accuracy improve for valid trials. Cross-modal attention enhances perceptual salience of multisensory stimuli. There is a bias in response towards the auditory cue location, and enhanced sensitivity occurs at the location of the auditory cue. Contextual analysis: this confirms that valid auditory cues enhance response efficiency, showing the link between auditory and visual attention systems. Demonstrates that while auditory priming does not help auditory stimuli, it does improve visual processing at cued locations. Terminology: cross-modal attention. When attention in one sensory modality, example hearing, influences perception in another modality, for example vision. Okay, so basically means when attention is in one sensory modality, hearing influences perception in another one, like vision. Okay, so yeah, that's it about this video. We'll be covering this in our next video.